Hey guys, I just wanted to show you all what I was doing. I'm in a 93 Escort trying to make... What's wrong here, the combination switch doesn't work, so the high beams don't work right. And the high beam indicator doesn't work, and so when the high beams do come on, you don't know they're on. And it's all down to this switch right here. This is the multifunction switch, or whatever you want to call it. And this little plunger here, when the high beams are off, sits in the middle. And if you can see what's going on in there, it sits in the middle like that. When you pull, or when you pull back on the switch to flash the high beams, it goes up like that and makes a connection. And the first connection shuts off, or turns on the high beams. The second one up here turns off the low beams. And when you pull the switch back to engage them without holding the switch, it comes down like that and makes a connection down inside there. And what happens is, like with most Fords, these little connections right here get corroded. I've sanded this one down about 3 different times now to get them to work, but they're still not working right. So what I'm doing is taking the switch out of my parts car, which is way back there in the yard next to the garage, if you can even see it. But that car doesn't have cruise control. And here's what controls the cruise control, is this thing here. And this, as you can see, has 3 wires going to it, 1 for the horn, 2 for the cruise control. And those go into this plug here, which is the one that has all the lights, ones for the lights here. So what you have to do, the ones without cruise control only have 1 wire going to them. Because the cruise control, the cars without cruise control on the multifunction switch just have this little plunger here for the horn. But the ones with cruise control have, where'd it go now? This, which sits there like that and then goes inside the steering wheel. And I found out even the steering wheels are different. The back here is different on them. Around here, this is blocked off in the cars without cruise control, and this is different. So, what I'm doing is taking all the wires out of this one here for the cruise control and swapping them into this plug so I can keep the cruise control in this car. And the reason I can't do the whole thing is because this is a wagon, so it's got the rear wiper control. That one's a hatch, so it doesn't. So I'm not going to show you how to take all this apart if you can get to this point. The hardest part is getting that panel off down there, because the panel over here, the top part comes off and there's a hidden bolt there, and you also have to take the hood prop, or the hood, not prop, but the popper off. So I got all that off, and I have this all apart because there was a burned out bulb in the cluster, and I figured, well, I'm in here, I'm just going to do it all. So you get that apart, and then on the back of this, this is really hard to take out. There's a screw here, right here, and then that just clamps down on top of the steering column. So the best thing you can do is get down there and take these plugs out. There's a black piece here that you can either cut them away from, or this pops down. The best way to get those out is take these 2 plugs out here. And then this has to pull back and off, and it's really hard to do if you don't have those unhooked. And then once you get that out, the switch sits inside here, and there's 3 screws here, here, and back there. And then you shouldn't have to take this apart unless you're cleaning it. And if you're taking it apart to clean it, there's a clip here, here, here. I think that's it on these. Yeah, just those 3. But then you have this for the hazards that comes out, and this one for the turn signals. And you have to make sure you watch those when they come out and you don't lose them, because otherwise you'll lose function of things. And then this is the whole thing. Once it's apart, it looks like that. So that's what I'm doing. Just thought I'd give you a heads up so you guys know what's going on with these multifunction switches in case your lights aren't working. I'll actually plug this one in here and show you what's going on. I'm up all the way at 4 minutes. I'm still good. YouTube shouldn't say anything about that. Now here, if I turn the lights on, you can see when this is in the middle, the low beams are on. I don't know if you can actually see that or not. And when you pull it back, that's the high beams on. And this one decided to start working. The indicator started to come on when it did that. So you push that back in, and there's your low beams. Push it forward, and that's supposed to be the flash. but if you can see out there against, see? So that's pulled back into the permanent on position. That's in the off, high beam off position, and then there's flash. They won't flash and the indicator doesn't come on. But it decided to come on now when you have it pulled back. And they are actually working now. But they won't flash. So, with this new switch, got these two plugs here. And if I can get, come on, there's one, and there's the other one. Turn, I got the stalk separate. You have to switch this over too unless you want to switch the wires. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So turn these on in the central position, low beams. Come on. Now to flash, see, they're flashing now. And then that's the pushed forward on the stalk and it's on. Pull back, push forward. So they're actually working like they should be now. And the indicator is working in both positions. So I get to go through the heartache of switching all these over, and I don't know if any of you have ever switched these over. This is not a job for the, you know, faint of heart. Because then you've got to take massive keychain. You've got to take these two screws out, and then when you do that, you pull this back like that, like you're going to pull it out, and then this should pop out. But when that pops out, I'll show you on the other one that's already apart. There's a little like ball bearing thing down inside there, and you want to make sure you don't lose that because that's what keeps the stock in its positions. And then once you do that, it has a pin down in here. Ready to go right there, and then it slides forward and comes out like that. So that's what I'm doing today. And switching these plugs here, down inside there, there's all these little pins. And what I've got here is just a knife, which is what I've got. In order to get these, and see, these are the three wires, two of them for the cruise control, one's for the horn. And so what you've got to do is down there, inside there, probably can't see this, it's probably extremely blurry, it looks like it on the little screen. But, where'd my other switch go? Hold on, let me pop this one out and I'll show you what it looks like. Which one is it? That one. If I can get this works better. I'm sure they make actual tools for this, removers or a little bitty screwdriver or something. The knife is just what I happen to have to try and get it out with. Ow. Stupid Ford. I love Fords, but some of this crap's ridiculous. Well, can't get that one out to show you, but I don't want to take up all your time trying to get a damn... Oh, there it goes. So, on this pin here, that goes in there, on the top there where that, you probably can't even see it, there's a little slit down in there, about there, and there's a piece of plastic that clips in there. And you push that little plastic up, you come in over the top of it and push it up, and then this should pull out of the back. So, anyways, hopefully you can get your high beams working. I know this car has been a hell of a battle trying to get them all working, but luckily I got a switch that works completely. You might not be so lucky, but you'll want to test the switch before you buy it or whatever, so hopefully it helped.